Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I've got a video for you guys that I filmed back in the summer. I've been working on several projects and shooting some video, but I don't have anything ready to be completed and to upload for you guys. So we're jumping back a little bit to a video I shot before the hog hunt. Hope you enjoy it. Hey everybody, it has been a while since we did a pistol reloading video. And it's also been a while since we did a start to finish reloading video. So we're going to do both of those things today. I'm going to be working up a 9mm load for the Hornady XTP 115 grain. Now you can see I've got two different boxes here. That's because one of them is several years old and one of them is pretty new. Both haven't had any used out of them. They both still have 100 bullets in it. This one I bought for looks like about 18 bucks. Back when I was reloading 9mm ammo on my dad's setup when I was a teenager. So I still have this box from then, and then this box I got free with a set of Hornady dies, I believe. So there they are, ready to go. We are going to be sort of duplicating the Hornady American Gunner ammo, also with the 115 grain XTP. I'll show you what those look like here. Yeah, just like that. So, I'm guessing that our overall length is going to be the same as what's listed in the Hornady manual, but we're going to see about that. This was my carry ammo for quite a while before I switched, and it's been a good load. Now, my goal for this load, besides just finding uses for these 200 bullets, is this is going to be the load that I'm going to have in my magazine when I go hog hunting this winter. I'm sure that for quick follow-up shots and for quick point-blank finishing shots, my regular Barry's 124 grain round nose would be just fine. But I have these, so I might as well use them. Hornady load data for CFE pistol, which is the powder that I have, actually the only pistol powder that I have, says about 5.3 grains for 1100 feet per second, 5.5 grains for 1150, and then it shows a max of 5.8 for 1200. I'm going to shoot for that 1150 mark as far as velocity goes. And let me see what length of barrel they used. They used a Smith & Wesson Model 39 with a 4-inch barrel. We have a 5-inch barrel on the Taurus PT99AF. Let me double check that. I'm fairly certain it's correct. 4 3/4 inch barrel, it looks like. 4.5. So it's going to be pretty darn close. That's what we got to work with. I'm starting out with some Remington brass. I've got 20 pieces of it here. You can see it still has the primer in it. It is once fired, and the only thing I've done to this brass is run it through the tumbler. So other than that, this video will be start to finish. Let's jump over to the reloading press and get this brass prepped. Alright, now this is just about the simplest reloading job that you can do, is reloading pistol ammo. But I'm going to go through it anyway, because it's kind of fun and therapeutic if you're one of those people that finds reloading to be that way. So we're just going to run these through the sizing die and punch out these old primers. Nice thing about pistol ammo is you don't have to lubricate it. To me, that takes a lot of trouble out of it. Let me find my priming arm, which serves as a diverter, and my primer catcher cup. And we'll just run through these real quick. Just 20 pieces, nothing to it. This die is set. I run brass through it all the time. I'm also kind of interested to see what the accuracy is with this load. It should be pretty decent. For the velocity testing, I will be trickling up all the powder charges, even though that's not how it'll be out of the powder measure. In fact, the powder measure might be slightly more accurate, because remember our scale only weighs to within 1/10 of a grain. And when you're talking about a 5.5 grain total pistol charge, our scale is consistently measuring that the powder measure is throwing the same charge every time. So I would guess that it's actually a little tighter than that 1/10 of a grain resolution that the scale has. This is the part that a turret press would be kind of nice, because I could run through these in the sizing die and then flare them before taking the shell out of the shell holder. But it doesn't add much extra time to just do it this way. And one more and we'll have her done. Okay, switching out dies for our flaring die. I'll run back through them again. Just putting a very light flare on there, just enough to get the bullet started. Takes barely any pressure at all to get it pushed up in there. The flaring is one part of the pistol ammo reloading process that I always seem to forget for some reason. I get and sometimes even have some of my cases charged with powder, and then I realize, oh, I haven't flared these yet, and I'm not going to be able to see bullets without shaving the sides of them off. So I then have to dump out the powder, go back and flare them, because it'd be a pain to try to, and you know. Alright. Flaring's done. Swap out for our seating die. And we'll set that up a little later. Alright, time for primers. I'm still using this Hornady priming tool, and I still don't care for it at all. But it's the only thing I got, so we're going to use it. And since it works, it's kind of low on my priority to swap out. Alright, let's grab our CCI 500s. And we've got, looks like 95 primers in this tray. Since we're doing an even 20, I'll just open it from this side. And flip them over in there. This priming tool is constantly flipping primers, but I think I have figured out a little bit of a strategy to keep it from flipping them and to keep things consistent. We'll run through these real quick and probably speed it up in the video. Okay, 20 primed up, no time flat, time for powder. Alright, I'm just going to fill my trickler up here with CFE pistol. Whoops, I always end up spilling in that little tiny trickler mouth there. Anyway, we're going to fill our trickler up and dispense our entire charge from the trickler since it's such a small volume. I'm going to load or charge 5 of these cases at a time. Because I'm only going to do 5 and then I'll go out to the chronograph, shoot them, check them, and then come back, we will just do 5 at a time. We're going to start with the 5.3 grains. Now between 5 And 5.2 is my normal charge for my 124 grain berries, and these are a little bit lighter. I'm already regretting my decision to do it this way. Okay, and I went over because I wasn't paying attention. So 5.2, I'm going to try to do granule by granule until I hit 5.3 and stop right there. And I suppose we can use our funnel. Seems kind of silly for a 9mm cartridge, but we'll use it. Okay. Oh, I want to make sure the scale zeroed out. I keep bumping my trickler and bumping granules onto the scale. This is the other component I want to swap out. Okay, let me weigh this charge of powder again. The first one we threw, just to double check it. Good thing I did, it's measuring 5.4 now. I'm going to tap just a little bit back in. I actually want to get it to read 5.2 so that I can trickle back up again. Okay, good. 5.2 and granule by granule. Because I'm doing this load workup, this is a lot more. There's 5.3 on the button. Okay, this funnel, it's not used to seeing powder in the bottom little bit of it here because the mouth on the 9mm case is wider. So what I'm going to do is just dump it in by the powder pan. Like that, very, very carefully. And if I were loading very many rounds at all, this would be so tedious. And it's going to kind of be anyway. Alright, and my Hornady scale did not zero back out again. This is a continuing problem I've had with the scale, even after I have let it warm up. So, we're going to zero it out, take the pan off, put the pan back on. Okay, it's 0, so I'm going to go back and measure that first charge again, because who knows what it is. Yep, reading 5.4 again. 10th high. Which, when we're talking about two tenths between. Okay, there's 5.3. I'm going to go with it. When you're talking 2/10 of a grain of powder for 50 feet per second in velocity, at least according to the Hornady manual, 1/10 of a grain can be kind of important. Okay, so let me get up to 5 grains here. Okay, 4.7, and now I'll go slow up to 5.3. And I'm going to hope that our scale won't let me down. Okay. And she didn't go back to 0 again. Sometimes if I let it sit for a second it will, and then I don't worry about it too much. But since it's not, zero it out and weigh that charge again. It might be having trouble because it's such a small charge. Yep, and that one measures 5.4. So, if I just kept showing you this, y'all would get bored in a hurry. Which you might already be. Alright, there's 5.3. So, I'm just going to zip through the rest of this, get the rest of these 5 cases charged, and then we will see some bullets. Okay, well that was the most pain in the butt 5 cases I've ever charged in a while. Let's see some bullets. First, I'll just set these on top. Make sure they sit in there. Yeah, this bag is still sealed, so I didn't break it open when I bought it. Who knows how many years ago. And the bullets aren't tarnished at all. They look pretty darn good, actually. So let's sit them on there. Oh yeah, I can just barely start them with my fingers, which is perfect. That's how I like it when I load bulk too, is just barely start them with my fingers so that they stick on there. Visually inspecting each one for powder. And let's go over to the bullet seating die. Oh, so I will have to pop my shell holder out of here. I don't have any idea where my regular bullet seating setting is going to put it. So I'm going to go ahead and back this seating stem out, and we're going to try for it. Oh, before I do that, let me check the manual. The manual is wanting a case overall length of 1.075 inches. And for reference, let me check one of the Hornady American gunner loads. Make sure my calipers are zeroed. I've got 1.083. And 1.083, so those are very consistent. Let me check one more. 1.0815. Okay, so they're pretty consistent at a few thousandths longer than the manual says. Let's go with the 1.075. It's not really that much different. I have no idea if this seating stem is going to be ideal for these or not. Okay, I'm a mile long. I'm going to crank it down. Still way long. Okay, now I'll start measuring. Oh, look at that. 1.084, so I'm already landing about right where they were. Let's go to, I'm going to go with the manual, 1.075. I don't seem to be leaving any weird marks on the bullet, so that's good. Oh, 1.068. I went down too far. Let me back it out some. And of course I always drop them. I've got just enough crimp on here to remove that flare that we put into it. Oh, I'm back to 1.084. So this is going to be a small adjustment on our seating stem. 1.076. I'm going to call that close enough. Not going to mess with it past that. .077. .078. And 1.077. Okay. Alright, we've got our 5 rounds loaded up. Let's go out to the chronograph and we'll chronograph our American gunner loads, see what we're getting through that. Then we'll switch to our hand loads here and see what we get from those. Okay, if you see the dog in the frame at any time, rest assured I am not going to shoot him. He is not gun shy at all, which can be a good thing. I've got 5 rounds of the Hornady American gunner loaded on the top here. We're going to launch it over the chronograph down into a log over there and see what we get. Well, I may have to put that dog in the house. Okay, the dog is in the house and we can continue with our testing. I'm going to shoot over the chronograph here. 11:12. Got a duplicate reading. Calling that a duplicate reading too. Let me back off here just a little bit. 11:08. And 11:13. So they're right in there. And now we've got our hand loads in. Recoil impulse feels a little more stout on that, and we're at 12:21 on the chronograph. Let's shoot a few more here. 12:31. 12:14. 12:23. And 11:94. So for our Hornady American gunner, we had an average of 11:11, extreme spread of 5, and a standard deviation of 2. Now those numbers are extremely good, but remember that we had 2 duplicate errors, so probably not accurate here. Let's switch to our hand loads here. High was 12:31, low 11:94, average of 12:16, extreme spread of 37, standard deviation of 14. These are much more along the lines of numbers that I would expect from pistol loads. Let's go back to our average there, 12:16. Our target is 1150. The reason we're probably seeing a faster velocity here than the manual shows at 1100 feet per second for this load is the 1 extra inch of barrel length. And from what I've seen on other channels on YouTube and such, that extra inch could really give us another 100 feet per second in a pistol load like this. So I think, without any further load workup, in 5 shots, we have figured out our load. 5.3 grains of CFE pistol. We could probably even go down to 5.2 grains, which is our normal load for the 124 grain Berry's bullet. But this 5.3 grains gives us an average just over 1200 feet per second, and I'm going to be very happy with that. This pistol design is more than capable of handling that little extra bit of pressure, and we're not even over max as far as velocity goes. The Hornady manual shows a max velocity of 1200 at 5.8 grains, but again, that's out of a 4-inch barrel. So we would be probably safe to go even a little bit higher, but I'm not going to. I'm going to stick right there with that 5.3 grain load of CFE pistol. So without even trying to today, we got more power than our American gunner load and a decent load for our gun in just 5 shots for this Hornady 115 grain XTP. I'm going to be pretty happy with that. That's going to do it for us today, guys. Hope you enjoyed this kind of short little reloading video and foray back into loading for pistol. If you like this content, be sure to subscribe to the channel and stick around. There's going to be more reloading content, more shooting, hunting, all of that stuff to come. Thanks for watching.